everyone, so final video review for this week is for Valerie by Eyre, which was my paperback read last week. If you haven't seen the introduction video, that is still about, so you can go and check that out, but for any of you that didn't see it, this is a quick look at what the book looked like. If you want to check out my Goodreads review, I did just post that the other day, so if you're on YouTube there's a link in the description below, and if you are on Facebook or on my blog then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Valerie by Eyre. Again, I've had this book since I went to South Coast Lesbic Hangout last year in May, and it's quite the dramatic romance, and I got interested in it because Kit did a reading from it whilst we were at South Coast, and that first chapter was just something that really intrigued me. It's a really gripping first chapter. So basically, Max, who is a taxi driver, she meets politician Valerie one night when Valerie's car breaks down. She tries to help Valerie out, and they kind of strike up this unusual connection, and they embark on a bit of a secret romance, because Valerie's in the run-up to election and she really doesn't want anything to sort of get in the way of this. So she's really determined to keep focused on her goals, and that means, like I say, not letting a relationship get in the way, not letting anything get in the way, or any drama that's being caused by her strained relationship with her daughter Amy get in the way of this election. So that's her main focus. And whilst Valerie sort of buries her head in the sand about Max, about Amy, about the election, about everything, things are happening beyond her control that create the drama that could really potentially disrupt everything for her. And the story kind of gets taken out of Valerie's control a bit by Max and Amy, and it will change her life forever. So I really loved the first meeting of these two characters. Like I say, Kit did a reading of it, and it was just such an intriguing moment. And I wondered how these two characters were going to work, and I was hopeful that they'd have this big, great romance. And you really are hopeful that Valerie and Max are going to have this romance. And then Valerie is going to be one of those characters. And I'm going to say this now. I love Valerie. I think she's brilliant. In fact, she's an absolutely perfectly flawed character, and I love that about her because it makes her very realistic. But she is going to be one of those characters that you hate. You will hate her for 90% of this book, but you are not going to end up hating her at the end, and then you're going to kick yourself because you're going to absolutely love her. She's a complete legend, Valerie. I love her to bits. But for a big majority of this book, I was like, wow, I really don't like you right now. But I couldn't help but like her at the same time. It was really conflicting, and I loved that. That when you get a character like that, you really sort of like, oh my god, I'm so infuriated with you, character. But then you're like, oh, they're so good. They're just such a good character. And Valerie's a brilliant character. She's just literally got these two sides, and say deeply flawed by her own denial and vulnerability, but it makes her an absolute closed book, and you literally are peeling away layers of her bit by bit and getting to really understand her over a long period of time, because it takes Max and Amy revealing bits about her for you to really get the full picture of her. You never really get it from Valerie. And whilst the story's titled Valerie, a lot of it focuses on Max, and even takes the point of view from time to time of Amy, so that's Valerie's daughter, and that gives an interesting insight into telling the story. It's not all just from Valerie and Max's point of view, there is quite a bit from Amy's as well, and that's quite nicely building Amy as a character for you to get used to for hopefully future. So it really gave, it was like being sort of at the heart of a political scandal, and it really could have gone either way. So the story, it does cover quite a long period of time, and there were a few jumps along the way in that time period as well. So the full development of Valerie and Max's relationship isn't really explored as much as I would have liked it to be, but obviously it being a secret is important to the storyline and where the story sort of goes and what it covers. So it was apparent after a while that it was actually suited quite well to the story this way. So it is a little bit rushed, all that initial interaction between them, and you don't get to see a lot of it, and that is because you are seeing bits from Amy's point of view, and a lot of this doesn't involve Amy at that point. So that's why you don't see so much of their relationship developing at the start. It's very quick, it's a quick attraction, and it's quickly moving on to future events to get the story told. So it really is more of a story about family and a mother and a daughter relationship, and how that's impacted by expectations and relationships, rather than a pure romance between two main characters. But that romance element is there. And so upon reflection, having now finished the book, I actually think the portrayal of Valerie's story and that mother-daughter story is really important, and it's very cleverly portrayed in this book. You've got a bit of romance, but you've got that family implication of it, and that's something that often gets forgotten about, the family in the background. So I loved that that was sitting top and center really over the relationship status, and it means that we can have a future book with more about Max and Valerie's relationship, because obviously we've not had loads and loads of it in this first book. So I really enjoyed the rocky road sort of embarked whilst discovering Valerie, Max and Amy's story. It's very much one that's intertwined, and they need to be, that you needed all sort of the points of view to get the full picture. And I look forward to reading more about them again in the future, because I do really like them, and I think we have a lot more to see from them. So I really like this book. Like I say, you'll be very intrigued by that first chapter, and then you will sort of go on this wild political ride with them all, and it's really fun, and I really enjoyed reading it. So I hope you will enjoy reading it too. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Valerie by Kit Eyre. If you've read Valerie, please let me know. Please let me know what you thought of it. It'd be great to chat to you about it and comment below. And if you haven't read it yet, but it's on your to be read list, you're interested in reading it, or you now want to go and buy a copy because you've seen this review, again, it'd be really great to hear from you, because we always love to hear what you're interested in reading, because it just gives insight into what people are thinking about and everything, and it's great to sort of connect with you and know that you're really interested in reading it. So do comment below if you are going to go and grab a copy, and if you do grab a copy, I really hope you enjoy it. Bye!